Good morning and welcome back to my scrap room. My name is Jennifer Perry and I'm going to take care of a few housekeeping things first and then we will get started on what this video is really about. If I look a little bit off, I am going through a cycle where I have my days and nights mixed up. So I was up all night and I will probably sleep after I get my errands done today. It sucks. Oh, there goes a cat. It sucks, but it's also one of the things that made me a very good night shifter because I figured I'm going to be awake anyway. I might as well get paid for it. The other item is because I am so tired at the moment. I have cerebral palsy. You guys know this. I mention it every time I do a walking type tour because the camera is going to be a little bit wobbly. But because I'm so tired today, it's going to be a little bit worse. They go hand in hand. The more tired you are, the worse you walk. That's the way things work. So those are the two housekeeping items that I just want to get out of the way really quickly. And I know that I just mentioned on the blog that I was not going to be recording and making videos because of my school schedule, but this one will not leave me alone. And I have to get this finished or I will not be able to do anything else. It is just bugging the crap out of me and I have to get it done. And that is a pantry update. I have about 2.5, 3 years ago, I made a video about a working pantry, spare pantry, under the stairs pantry, something to that nature of just keeping a little extra food on hand. We have had some changes in who lives in our home. We've had a room open up and I was able to upgrade my pantry and I wanted to give you guys a bit of a tour of it. Now I'm going to specify that almost everything in this pantry came from under the stairs. So almost. Now the pasta, I didn't realize I had so much of because of the way it was being stored. I could not see it. And then my broth, my chicken broth and my beef broth, that I did just stock up because it's the time of year. This is when you do stock up. So I'm stocking up and that will probably last me 6 or 7 months. So those two items, I did just go out and purchase. Well, not the pasta, I didn't purchase that, but I did find that I had more than I thought I did. But I did purchase the broths. Everything else that you see in this pantry, except for the shelving units, came from under the stairs where I had everything before. So the pantry that I talked about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, is pretty much everything that is now in this pantry, but it's a lot easier to see, a lot easier to access, a lot easier to inventory. So I just want to show you. It might be some tips that you can use. Here comes a cat. Let's get started. Okay, so we are going to start off in the kitchen pantry. And this pantry, from years and years of being in this house, this pantry I know holds a month's worth of food. So this is guaranteed a month worth of food for our family. So I'm going to go ahead and open the door. Again, I apologize for the wobble. Okay, so I didn't do any tidying. Oh, apparently some crackers fell on the floor. I didn't do any tidying. We're just going to start from the bottom and work our way up. I'll do a pan. And then I will get a little bit more detailed. The yellow bucket is nothing but like tea for hot tea. The gray wicker basket is snacks. And then this is kind of like the butler's pantry area where I keep all things that I might need access to. And then this area. I used to have mason jars and I love storing things in mason jars. I have a few. I need to be working my way out of those because again with the cerebral palsy, my walking is getting worse. The older that I get, it's just a fact, and I'm starting to fall a lot more. So I need to transition out of glass and into stuff that isn't going to shatter into a million little glass pieces if I happen to take a spill. And I did a couple of weeks ago fall in this pantry. I don't know how. I don't understand what happened, but I did fall and hit this floor, and I had to just sit here for a minute because I couldn't get up. I had to assess what was going on. Okay, so let's get started. Each one of these little racks holds 8 cans. And like right now, I know that needs to be stocked, but I want to use those last 2 before I put any more in there because of rotation, first in, first out. But each one of these can racks holds 8 cans. Now, if you watched any of my other tours, I had little cardboard sections. Those finally wore out, and I could not replace them because the company is no longer in business. The website was canorganizer.com. They're no longer in business. I would have loved to have just gotten those because they lasted a good 10 years. That is baking in boxed items. So I had to find a different solution, and this bin is linens, this bin is Ziplocs, this bin is different trash bags for the house. So these I bought from Amazon. The Lemonade Mom on YouTube, she did a pantry tour and linked these, and it was an investment. I bought them, I think they came in a 4-pack. So I bought them as a 4-pack, and I would just buy a 4-pack of them whenever I could until I finally got enough to fill out my kitchen. So this is what I'm using now. They work very, very well. Now, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to have them contained? First off, I don't like cans just falling everywhere. That's just the organizer in me cannot stand that. Second thing is, and one reason why I did not go back into cardboard, because I have something different in the big pantry, is I had a can of pineapple in here that was still in date, but it was a pop top. I had a pineapple explode, and it soaked the cardboard and leaked everywhere. So I'm hoping that with these, if that happens, it will at least catch something. This stuff gets rotated pretty quickly, which is why I was surprised that the pineapple exploded. I think it was just a pop top failure. It was like this kind of top. If you notice, I have 1 can of pineapple, and it's for a specific recipe that I'll be making soon. And it is not in a divider because I'm not doing that again. So coffee, there's where my coffee filters are. You'll see I have a lifetime supply of coffee filters because I don't know what I was doing. But I think I thought I was out of coffee filters, so I bought a lifetime supply. These are my new pantry containers. These are the Pro Keepers, and I bought them both on Amazon and at Container Store, depending on where I could find the size that I needed. So I have the flour, bread flour, self-rising flour, and then I have my grains, and then my husband's cereals that he likes to have. I also like to utilize Lazy Susans. I even have them in my refrigerator. So like this one is for spice packets. And I utilize bins for, you know, savory items, breakfast items. Anything that could be sticky gets put in a bin. Again, more of the turntables. The purple basket is everything to do with Instapots. I do have 2 Instapots. I love them. So I have a little bit of water storage down there, and you'll see where the rest of the water storage is. This is all of my pasta that was in the pantry before I moved everything. So again, you're going to see that I apparently thought I didn't have any pasta. And then our little alcohol section, which this we just stocked up. We just went and bought for the holidays. So we have a lot more than we normally would have, but holidays. And then this is my husband's almond milk and the oils and stuff. Now, my husband can't do dairy. He is lactose intolerant, so that when he does eat dairy, it doesn't agree with him very well. So I try to at least have almond milk for him. And we have somebody going, "Hey, Mom, what are you doing?" So anyway, I'm going to step out and shut the door real fast. My daughter wanted to include a little kitchen span. She says, "I never show my kitchen," so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm backed up against the dishwasher right now, hanging onto the counter for dear life. And I'm about to go to the grocery store, so I've got that out so that when I do some meal prep, I remember that I want to make some tuna fish for this week. And I'm going to walk over here because I want to show you one of the items that keeps me organized with my meals. And this person does not know that I'm doing this. This is a fellow YouTuber. She has a fabulous channel for meals, especially if you have a young family. And she also has a meal plan. And I get the meal plan. It is $10 a month. And around the first of the month, she will email you recipes for that month. So like right now I have November and December because in October, the October meal plan, it took me a while to get through that one. So I didn't get to November. And then I also have a few family recipes that I have in page protectors that are my go-to recipes that I use over and over and over. So this is one of the things that I do to help rotate my food and keeps me not only inspired in cooking, but kind of makes it to where it's not so boring to where you're not making the same thing over and over and over. And I'm going to come over and get turned around so you can see. I'm going to hang on to the counter this way. And that's the kitchen that way. Love the counter space. It comes in very, very handy. I've got a cat about to trip me. There's my grocery list. I'm about to go to the store. And my bar area. Okay, we'll be right back. I'm going to walk down the hallway and open the other pantry. Really quickly, I wanted to show you that I do have an inventory of what is in my freezer because I am going to be working through my freezer this month and try and use as much of this as possible so that in January I can go through and restock and repackage since we have a smaller family in this house. So I need to kind of use things up. This is a good chance to use things up, but it's also a chance to figure out what I really need, what I really use, and package things for smaller families so that it's a smaller, less leftovers, less waste. Okay, first off, the boys are going to lose their mind because they never get to come in here. I have one that likes to sit on the fettuccine and one that likes to eat packaging. So they don't get to come in here very often. So we upgraded our shelves. We were using cube units, and when this room became available, we updated our shelves to some very sturdy wire and metal shelving. And then my husband reinforced the shelving. So this is 90% of my spare storage. And then, try not to trip over a cat. And then I moved some of the cube units in here. There's still some under the stairs. And we'll talk about all of this. Okay, so let me show you the other side. Here is me standing by the window. So first up, sorry about the cat, but first up, this is my food saver. It is just easier for me to put it on a cart and wheel it down the hallway. So it has its own cart. It does live there. He wants in the closet. He wants me to open that door badly. And then this is a desk unit that was here when this was my mom's room. So this is the desk unit that was here. I decided to leave it exactly where it is because it makes a great butler's pantry area. We just recently moved my husband's coffee maker in here because he decided he likes the kitchen counters clearer. So he said, making coffee is a process, and part of the process he doesn't mind coming down and getting the coffee maker. So I have some extra water storage here. I have it sitting on these crate mats. They're mats that go into dog crates. And they've got a bit of a lip on them. I've got them sitting here just in case one springs a leak. Hopefully I catch it before it ends up in the carpet. I have one 5-gallon bucket. This, he really wants in that door. This bucket holds all of my sugar that we need for the year. So it is in 5 and 10 pound packages. I have not opened the packages, but it is white sugar, brown sugar, and confection sugar. And then the Pyrex bowl is my mother-in-law's. I just need to get it back to her. And then the very top shelf is some more food saver bags, and in the basket are some other food saver bags. I'm going to try and walk around my cat. Pardon? Okay, so the bin on top is just some stuff for Christmas. It is paper goods for the Christmas eating season. This is my husband's granola. Yes, that is actually not stocked up completely because he eats this every single day. That is a must that has to be stocked along with extra milk because he eats that every single day. Pantries are a work in progress. in order to know what you've got to actually pay attention to what you're buying and pay attention to what you're using. I decided and figured out that we don't need a huge stock of mayonnaise. We don't need it. We don't need a huge stock of relish. We don't need it. And I could downsize the size of my peanut butter. I don't need Costco-sized peanut butter anymore because there's just 2 of us. But I do need ketchup and mustard. Now, I have a little bit more ketchup than I normally have because I'm about to make some meatloaves to get those ready to go in the freezer. So I stocked up on some ketchup so that I have ketchup for that. That is going to be a project for January. And then this is some breakfast items. Oatmeal, and then I like some packaged grits and oatmeal. I have the worst time eating in the morning, so I have to entice myself to eat. So I'm more like a kid. I'm going to eat stuff like that. And then this is seasonal stuff that is not normally purchased, which is why it doesn't really have a home. I love the Starbucks Holiday Blend. So I over-purchased on that because that's my coffee. Ritz crackers, we always change out what kind of crackers we have so that we don't get bored. And then this was some Holiday Canada Dry. It's okay. I will drink it, but it's okay. And then Ziplocs, coffee or hot drinks. That goes with coffee. And then this is my baking mixes, so like brownie mix, Red Lobster mix, and then Biscuit mix. And you will notice that it says vacuum sealed or VS on it. Don't you do it. Don't climb. He said, I'm going to climb. Yeah, he's trying to figure out how to climb. That means the packages in here are in 3 cups for what I need for Bisquick to make sausage balls. And I have vacuum sealed to make it easier to keep fresh. I did the same thing with the Red Lobster. I vacuum sealed the mix and the seasoning together in a package so that it stays fresher longer. I don't think I did it with the brownies because we use those rather quickly. But I have 2 boxes of Red Lobster, 1 box of Bisquick because that is a seasonal item, and I have 2 boxes of brownies. My 2-gallon buckets, I use 2-gallon buckets because I can't lift. Sir? Sir, can I help you? What are you doing? I can't lift 5-gallon buckets, so I have to use 2-gallon buckets. So we have salt, pepper, regular rice, and then since I've started using the meal plans, I stock up on minute rice because depending on the recipe, she either uses real rice or minute rice. Rice is rice to me, I don't care. I have a recycling bin, and this is a rolling cart so that when I'm stocking the kitchen, I can put things in the cart and roll it because my boys like to try and play kill mom. And then of course, every pantry needs a mouse, and if it's something light, I can put it in my shopping bag. That way if I fall down, it won't kill us, but if it's heavy, it goes in the cart. Okay, so now let's talk about the racks. Let's talk about the racks. So this very top shelf is what some people would call prepper or long-term storage or long-term food or something to that nature. I'm not using it as that. Part of it is long-term, yes, but when Texas had their ice storm, the grocery stores lost power, which means they lost everything in stock. Fortunately, we did not lose power. We still had power, but if we had lost power, now granted, I realized after the fact we probably could have taken our stuff out of the freezer and just stuck it in the backyard because we were below freezing for a week. It would have been fine, but I didn't realize that at the time because we were kind of in panic mode. It doesn't get that cold here in Texas, so we all kind of lost our minds. But for a good 2 to 3 weeks after the storm, stores were still trying to stock. I was able to cook out of this pantry, or rather it was under the stairs at the time, but I was able to cook out of this pantry for another 2 weeks, another 14 days, and I kept track of all the meals that I made. So, had my freezer gone down and it wasn't a situation where I could put the food in the backyard, I try to keep at least 2 weeks worth of protein that I can cook. Now, is it going to be stuff that we would eat normally? No. But this will sustain us for 2 weeks. I don't really want to go over 2 weeks because I want to keep it to where it can be rotated. But if we have another event like that, I want to make sure that I've got at least got some protein that we can cycle through. The other thing that I realized, and I don't think I'm going to be able to show you because I'm super short. Oh, you might be able to see some cans back there. A couple of days ago, I went and opened a can of celery and I opened a can of carrots. And I followed the portion sizes and I vacuum sealed in portion sizes, because those are the two ingredients that if I am trying to make a super stew, those are the ones that I'm always out of. Always. So I decided I'm going to sacrifice 2 cans, vacuum seal them, and have them ready for use. And then I have 2 cans, so 1 of each in the back for a little bit longer term. I will probably never have to buy it again. We'll see. And then I do have, oops, sorry, I didn't realize y'all couldn't see there for a second. I do have some milk. Because, milk. So the one thing that my husband asked when I did these shelves is that, one, everything has its own section, so I do have it sectioned off into cardboard boxes, but he also wanted everything to be labeled. Let me see if I can show you over here. There you go. So everything is labeled, and then I have the date stocked. Now for right now, these were typed out because everything was stocked on the same day. Stocked is then put in this room, not necessarily purchased, but put in this room, because I want to see how quickly it gets used now that I can get to it without crawling around in the floor under the stairs. So we have kidney beans, evaporated milk, which I do use quite a bit of, cream of chicken soup, and then these soups are, I've got a cat right under my feet. These soups are French onion and beef consomme. They are our cooking soups for Amy's rice dish. They can be used for other things, but that is the main thing that I make with those. And then cream of mushroom soup. So in the front is savory. See, here's my labels. In the front bin is savory, in the back bin is baking. Same thing here. In the front bin is sauces, in the back bin is vinegars. And then small spices and bulk spices. And they go back. And I'm going to show you my goof. And I had these up on the top shelf, but I couldn't reach them, and I kept banging myself in the head. I don't know why I thought I needed that many coffee filters. I don't know what my thought process was, but they're there and they don't go bad. And then we have corn with a case of corn in the back. So what happens is when I pull these to go stock the kitchen pantry, I will take 8 cans out of here, pull the rest forward, open the crate or open the case, put the case in here, and then if that case isn't standing there, I will buy another case and replace it just like that. So that's when I know I need to restock. When I pull 8 out of here, pull the rest forward, open those, put them in here, and that's missing. That's how I know I need to restock. And I will go to Sam's or Costco, restock, and then put it in here. So pinto beans. Try not to trip over the cat that is just right there, trying to kill me. Black beans, green beans. And then we have Great Northern beans or cannellini beans. Rotel. These 2 items are the same. They're just different sizes depending on what I need. So 8 ounces of tomato sauce, 12 ounces of tomato sauce. I do not care for the Pop Tops. I really wish tomato products would not come with Pop Tops. So I have to be very careful about making sure these get used in a proper time so they do not explode. I hate Pop Tops. And then these are the items that I just stocked up on, because now is the time it's on sale. This is when you want to stock up on it. And then I have my chicken and my tuna. These are the proteins that I use the most of, so they are not on the top shelf. I don't want to have to get a ladder to get them, so that's where they are. There is 1 box of instant potatoes that I use for thickening. There is a container in the big pantry in the kitchen that I refill from that box. And then here's the pasta, guys. I don't know what I was... the way that I had it stored in the closet, I obviously couldn't see what I had and kept thinking that I was out. but this will get used. So we have elbow, we have penne, we have spaghetti, we have dumplings, which is actually the most I use, and then we have fettuccine. And then again, when that box in the back gets opened, it gets put into this box here, I will repurchase and replace the box that's standing up in the back. Same thing, this is how I know I need to restock. Now I cannot get the dumplings from a big box store. I have to get those from my local grocer, so when I get down to 1 or 2, I will restock. And then I have my water storage on the bottom. Now, again, these crates popping out of the bottom, I wish they were the full length of underneath the shelving, because if something does start to leak, I've only had one jug leak, and it was one of those milk gallon jugs type ones. I've never had these leak, but just in case, I'm hoping that these catch it before my carpet gets damaged. So that's why they're there. But what happens is I have, see that use first, water use first. This is the one that gets used. Like it will either get put in the garage fridge for being in the backyard or travel or whatever we need water bottle for. So this is the one that's open and being used. When this comes off the shelf, everything rotates down and I will put the newest one on the back. So everything just gets scooted. And then the gallon jugs that you see are kitchen water. So during the ice storm, we did have a problem with water. We did need water storage. So I have quite a few gallons of water for water storage. So I have some here and some here. Those actually will not get moved down. I'll just move crates of water around them. But it will get rotated to where the water does get used. So none of this stuff is purchased for never, buy it and never use it. And we spent probably a good year trying to figure out what we actually want, what we actually eat. And that is the only thing that is stocked in this pantry. I don't have Bear Creek soups anymore. We tasted them, we didn't care for them. I don't have Spam because I've been hungry. I have food insecurity, don't know if you can tell. I have food insecurity from when I was a kid. I've been hungry. I still didn't eat Spam. I'm not going to now, so I don't have Spam because I don't want to eat it. We have what we use, what I cook, and what we eat. So, okay, so the other elephant in the room, besides the cats trying to get in the door, is why in the world, sorry, I gotta get turned around. Why in the world do I have it to where there's this big space down the middle? I could actually put another shelf and we could do some more storage and just set it up grocery store style, but there's a reason why I have the space in the middle. And I would open the door, but Dumpling is losing his mind, so I'm not going to open the door because I'll never get him out of there. But this room is the downstairs bedroom, and if I was to be injured and not able to get up the stairs, I have a rolling bed, hotel style, in this closet. So I could take the bed, and we have tested it. The bed will fit here to where if I had to temporarily sleep in the pantry with the canned goods, I can. We can just set the bed up in here. And what makes it nice is it has the blackout curtains, so I will be able to sleep. But it has a door. Let me get turned around. It has a door that can be shut for privacy, but that's the bathroom. And that is set up for handicap use. We did this when the house was built because we knew at some point I was going to be needing it. So this is the room that's actually closer to the bathroom, has a door, so it just made sense that we buy a rollaway cot, rollaway mattress, hotel style, to where if something happens and I need to use it, we just roll it out, make a bed, and I sleep in the pantry for a while. So let me close this up and get the boys out of here, and we'll finish up back in the kitchen. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you, and why this pantry makes so much sense for our family, is this is the meal plan that I'm using this week. This is week 1 of December, and the highlighted areas are the only items on this entire meal plan that I need to create this meal plan. It is onions, potatoes, because I'm out over the holiday, 1 sweet potato, 1 can of diced green chilies, because I don't normally keep those on hand, 1 tomato, some Panda Express orange sauce, that's not something I normally keep, and then some frozen broccoli. And then the other items that are just restock items for the house: milk, bread, creamer, crackers, salami, fruit, and I want to get 2 cans of tomato sauce to keep on hand this winter for making my own homemade tomato soup. So out of this entire list, this is all that I need to purchase. The yellow items, the highlighted items, and this itty bitty list right up here. This is all the items that I need to purchase for the groceries this week. That's it. So the one other thing I want to add about the new pantry is that is the best room in the house for the pantry, because it does stay dark with the blackout curtains, and it stays cool because of where it is in the home. It is a north-facing window, and that means it stays cooler on the north side of the house, which is perfect for food storage since we do not have basements. If we had basements, it would be in the basement. So it does stay very dark in there, which I want to get a night light so that as I'm walking in, I don't kill myself because you really can't see. Or I want to get a light like I have in my pantry that automatically turns on when I open the door. Those are the 2 things. Thank you for putting up with me with this little side tangent. I know that it is not scrapbooking or diamond painting related, but it is very dear to my heart. As somebody that grew up with, let's just say, food insecurities, because we're on the internet, I recognize that some people would consider this overboard, but we have been through some events that I have been very thankful for the food that we do have stored, and for the pantries that I do have, and the fact that there are times where job loss, car needs to be put in the shop, illness. We all came back from our daughter's wedding with the cooties. That, there was a week and a half that I needed to go to the store, but I didn't. I did have milk, bread, and eggs delivered. That was funny. Long story, but I did have bread, milk, and eggs delivered, but everything else I was able to take care of because I had it in my home already. It's more than just the world is ending, let's stock up on everything we can possibly get our hands on. There is a method to the madness, and there is some comfort in knowing that if you're having a squeak week, which everybody has, I don't care how old you are or what stage of life you're in, there's times when you have a squeak week. And it's nice when food is the item you don't have to worry about, because you can always make better decisions when you're not hungry. You can always make more sound decisions when you're not hungry. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from somebody that my only meal came from school lunches growing up. Had it not been for school lunches, we would not have eaten. So I know that there are people that think that, I go a little bit overboard in my pantries, but you know what? I have always been able to feed my family. And as long as my husband is on board, that's the only person that really needs to have a say in what I'm doing. But I hope you can gather some information, adjust this to your needs. Again, we spent a good year figuring out what we wanted to store and what we needed to store versus what everybody else stores. We spent a good amount of time figuring out what I like to cook, because I cook 90% of my food from scratch. You didn't see many boxed meals. I do like a good au gratin potato, because I can't make those. It's one thing that I'm just like, it eludes me. I can't make an au gratin potato. But you didn't see many, many packaged items as far as boxed items, because I do 90% of my cooking from scratch. This pantry helps me do that. It helps keep my ultimate grocery bill down. It keeps me out of the store. Winter is coming up, which means I'm going to have a horrible time. Don't know who that is. Sorry, I got a voicemail coming in. I'm going to have a horrible time walking. So this means that I can spend less time not in the cold and not falling down in public in the cold. So it will save medical bills for me. The list goes on and on of why we do this. But I hope, my hope is that you see, something sparks in your brain that you're like, okay, I can't do 3 to 6 months, which is what I'm thinking I have in that room. At this moment of time, we are trying to figure out exactly how much food we really have, how long it really lasts being properly rotated. I think I have about 3 to 4 months, but it could be longer. I don't know yet. That's the portion that we're in right now, is trying to figure out exactly what we have and how long it lasts. So that's why there's dates on this is when I stocked this and this is when I stocked this. And I do have little spare pieces of paper that I can handwrite when I stock and we put in there. But that's where we're at now. So you may be thinking, I can't do 3 to 6 months, but I can do a month. I have enough room in my pantry to do a month. You can do under the stairs pantries. You can do cube storage in the baskets, in those fabric bins. Nobody needs to know what's in those fabric bins. That's your business. That's not anybody else's business. You can do under bed storage. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to store 3 weeks. I think that would be the minimum that I would do, is 3 weeks, even in an apartment. My daughter lives in a very tiny apartment. I think she's up to a month of what she can store now. She might be up to 6 weeks because she's starting to see the wisdom. She lives in a state that it snows, and she don't like snow. She loves the state. She loves the mountains, but she doesn't necessarily like the snow. So she has figured out to keep a little bit more of a stock so that she can not go out when it's snowing. So anyway, that's my goal for you, is I want you to just adapt what you see to your lifestyle. And if it means buying, because everybody's got different budgets. So if it means buying an extra pasta sauce once a week, if you use pasta, if you cook pasta twice a month, then you just need 2 extra things of pasta, 2 extra things of sauce, and that's a month for you right there. That's a month's supply for you. That's where you need to just sit down, figure out what your meals are, figure out what you like to cook, figure out what you'd like to eat, and how often you make that item. And when you buy one, if you have the money, buy an extra. One goes in your regular pantry, one goes in your spare storage. So, that's for any item that you buy that doesn't require refrigeration, or, well, you could even do it for your freezer, but that doesn't require refrigeration, because refrigerator stuff needs to be cycled through a little bit quickly. But anyway, that's my thought process. That's what I felt like sharing. I am going to be starting class very, very soon, so we're going to go back to the no videos, and I will be crafting. I will be posting on Facebook, the Facebook group, pictures of what I'm doing, but I won't be really doing videos because I don't have time to edit. Getting this video out is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm going to do it, hopefully before I pass out today, because I've only had 2 hours of sleep. So anyway, I hope you found some information that you can use in your life. Hope you don't mind my little side tangent on food storage. Hi, Biscuit. Bye, Biscuit. I'm going to go now and clean up some cat puke, because he got so excited about getting in the pantry that he left me a present. So until next time, be safe, take care of yourself, and I will see you as soon as I can. Bye.